Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Stephanie Stevens Show and Pronoun TV. I'm Stephanie Stevens. I will be your host tonight for this half-hour, very exclusive special with Katanya Evans and Kelvin Sunday. They've invited me into their homes because they are from two different cultural backgrounds and they are going to be married very soon. And what I thought would make an interesting story is the fact that the two of them are from two different cultures and that we want to see how they live, how they fell in love, how they met, and we want to hear their story. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the channel, and thank you guys so much for all your comments and subscriptions. We have a lot of new shows coming for you. So, I just want to say welcome to my show, guys. How you doing?
I'm okay.
So, am I pronouncing your names right?
Yeah, Katanya and Calvin.
Okay. So, now, this story is really fascinating. I've known you for a while, Katanya, and you told me that you were getting married. I thought it was exciting. So, I want to first start off, where are you from?
I am from the beautiful island of Barbados.
Okay, what about you, Calvin?
I am from the beautiful island of Nigeria.
Okay. So, now, the two of you met where? No, let me just ask this question first. How do you identify? This is what we need to make sure that the audience understands.
Well, I identify as female because I transitioned, so.
Mm-hmm.
I identify as a male.
Who's bisexual.
Okay. Now, how did the two of you meet?
Okay, let me take it. We met, are you ready for it? We met on Tag.
Mm-hmm.
What would turn out to be supposed to be a alleged one-night stand turned out to this.
Oh.
That's how we met. It wasn't really anything. It was just like meet on Tag, talk, booty call, go your way, go mine. But fortunately, I should say, it turned into this.
Well, I mean, a lot of people out there will find it interesting, even me. When the agent, she sends me what she wants me to do every week, she really thought this story was fascinating. Because when she watched the other shows that we did, she really focused on you, Katanya, a lot. Mm-hmm. So she thought that would add a lot to our programming. Now, the two of you met on Tag, which is a hookup site, everybody. This is a hookup site. Those are so it's like Grinder, or Tinder, and all of those. Now, the first time you met, what did you think, Katanya, when you opened the door and you saw Calvin? What did you think?
The first time I met, I was actually doing a live because I actually had broken up with my ex. So it was like, because he lived in Jamaica, so it's like it was over, whatever the case would be. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know where this guy came from. All of a sudden, he's like, I want to be your inbox, I want to be your inbox. I was like, what is wrong with this boy? And then he asked me where I lived. And then we exchanged numbers, and then I didn't pick up my phone because I didn't really want to talk to him then. Mm-hmm. And he sent me all crying faces talking about why he can't sleep at night, he can't sleep this night, blah, blah, blah. I was like, this boy is still full of himself. So then the next day he came, and I was like, you're not coming upstairs. He said, okay, bring me some water and have a drink downstairs in my Jeep. So I was like, okay, because at that time you had a Jeep. And I bring the water in the Jeep. And then I say, thanks for the drink. He's like, are you not inviting me upstairs? And I was like, okay, I'll invite you upstairs. Then he came upstairs. I was still doing my live on Tag. He was like, you need to end this. You need to end this. I was like, end the live, end the live. I was like, why should I end the live? He made himself comfy in my bed. Oh, well. Like he lived there before. Oh. So I was like, okay. And then I told him I have something to tell you. He's like, there's nothing you can tell me that's going to make me move off this bed. So I told him about a transition, and he was like, okay, that's not a problem. Mm-hmm. And then one thing led to the other, and he eventually slept over that day. I was like, oh, okay. Then the next day he called, and I was like, okay. And that's how it started.
So what did you think of Katanya, Calvin, when you met her? When you first saw her on Tinder, did you know? On Tag. Did you know? Did you know or did you suspect that she was transgender?
I suspected. Right?
Okay.
And that was the reason why I told you that there's nothing you're going to say, like, tell me that's going to do. Because I knew that's the only thing you're going to say, like, what else you're going to tell me.
Okay.
So I was like, anything, I already know.
Well, we have to bring this up because my agent says for me not to try to. She always says don't pussyfoot around. She told me I've been pussyfooting around a lot with the interview, so she told me to be more direct. Now we know Nigeria is not the most welcoming place for the LGBT community.
Yeah.
Now, as an LGBT person, were you ever involved in any of the, the things going on in Nigeria with the LGBT community?
Yeah, kind of, but I never knew what LGBTQ was.
Okay.
Yeah, and
He didn't know what it was until he came to Canada, I guess. And he then educated, because I asked him one time, do you think that trans women are women? He said no, before he wasn't. He didn't convince they were women, but after coming to Canada and seeing the education, he realized, he said, well, he acknowledged them as women, he respects them for who they are.
Okay. Well, Katanya, they have an LGBT thriving community in Barbados, even though I know it's very dangerous for trans women. And now, when you first met him, did you really have any apprehension about him being from Nigeria, knowing that you, as an activist, would have already felt and had some experience about the culture in Nigeria and how they treat the LGBT community?
Yes, I did, especially when he slept over that night. I didn't sleep at all. I was like, in case this guy try anything, he's going down. At that time, I lived with my sister, my brother, well, my best friend and her husband. I called her my sister, my brother, and they were asleep in the other room. And I told her, and I told them, both of them, well, I invited this guy over. I haven't told him the tea yet, but when he comes. But that night, I didn't sleep, period. Because I was like, if he try anything, he's going down tonight.
by the end of the day, yeah.
But at the end of the day, I figured out he was all asleep and snored. And then when he told me his name was Kelvin, I was like, this guy, these people, his name is not Kelvin. How is he from Africa and has a name like Kelvin? And I must admit, I went snooping in his wallet and saw his ID.
Well, sometimes it's best to know the person you're sleeping with. Sometimes it's best to know the person you're sleeping with. And, sometimes we find that out the hard way when it's too late and things happen. And a lot, as you know, Katanya, over the last couple of years, a lot of the trans women have been murdered by men who say that they didn't know the tea.
Exactly, 100%.
So it's a good thing now that the girls are starting to recognize, to tell the men that I was born male, but I identify as female, and this is how I feel, this is how I live, and either you want to be with me or you don't. Now, we are going to always have that issue until people are really educated. But the statistic says that black men between the ages of 18 and 35 are the ones that commit the most murders of trans women. Why do you think that is, Calvin? Is it because young black men are really unsure of who they are, or they're trying to be macho?
They're trying to be macho.
Trying to be macho. They have a lot to prove to the boys. I'm a man and that's it. And even though I like this man, you ain't gonna know it's a man, and I introduce him to you, to my family or my friends, unless I'm for sure that this person can pass, or because in the long run, all of this comes out.
It does, eventually.
All of this comes out, mainly when the two of you start to fall in love, and you start to open up about the truth about your lives. Because sometimes we conceal those things. I was in a long-time relationship for a very long time, and you know that, Katanya.
Yeah, you did.
And I love Johnny very much, but Johnny kept a lot of secrets from his parents about me. And that's not what broke us up. What broke us up is just that I decided that my career came first. And sometimes you just have to do what's best for you.
Sure.
And now the two of you are getting married. Who said I love you first?
He did. He's so shit. He's nervous, but it's okay.
Now, Kelvin, have you told your parents in Nigeria that you're in love with a trans woman? Oh, okay. So we have that conversation to come. There'll be a part 2 to the Stephanie Stevens show, and with Kelvin and Katanya. Now, Katanya, I know that you express yourself and you're very open and honest. I'm sure you've told your friends and your family about Kelvin.
Yes, my mom talks. Actually, my mom always call him Sunday. Ask me where's Sunday. Tell him tomorrow's Monday. So she does it all the time, every time. And yeah, my family, my friends know about him because he's part of me. And Katanya, Katanya's face is always out there. But I try not to put him out there so much because I am very popular, as I should say. Well, people know Katanya. When everyone says Katanya, well, they know it's me. And since I work in the LGBTQ community, for the LGBT community, I'm just out there.
So, do you love him, Katanya?
I do. I do.
Kelvin, do you love her?
Sure, I
Okay. So now, who did the proposal first? Who did the marriage proposal first? Okay. Now, is this something you really are invested in, Katanya? Knowing that you come from being part of the community and you're very active and you've been a performer and entertainer. And sometimes entertainers, it's hard to separate love, marriage, work, activism, and entertainment. This is a very difficult thing to give up for stability and home life.
Honestly, it is, but I told him anything that I am doing, if it's my career or what the case may be, just be behind me and push me. Don't try to restrict me, because if you're, like for instance, he's going to be a model and he did a photo shoot. I pushed him to do that. If there's anything to enhance his life and better himself, I'm going to get behind it, because he knows when he's not going down the right path, my mouth comes out and he doesn't like it. So, now he's happy. So yeah.
Now the two of you, now Calvin, you're a young guy. Now, do you, and Katanya, you're young as well. I mean, I'm trying to understand the dynamics of children building a life together, family, church, and mainly from where you're from, Calvin. This is why I'm focusing so much on Nigeria. Because we've been trying to get them to open up and help with the LGBT, make things a little bit better for the LGBTQ community in Nigeria, in a sense by showing them that LGBT people have human rights and that they deserve the same rights as everybody else. Now, did you ever see any of the violence in Nigeria with the LGBT community?
Yeah. I see it on like Instagram. Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So now, the two of you, once you figured out what was going to happen with, sorry, we're not having a fire. There's a fire, all right.
There's a fire, but we're not having a fire.
Now, the two of you, now, Calvin, what do you think is going to happen? You're in Canada now, a place that's more free and open and somewhat loving and supporting in a sense, but yet we still have our struggles and our way of life that sometimes we might not always get what we want, because we'll always be fighting for our rights, I think. Now, what do you plan on? Do you plan on taking Katanya back and introducing her to your family and your friends in Nigeria?
Yeah, sure. I would love to do that, but like what you said about like Nigeria, right? So, like you said, you're trying to like make like LGBTQ like in Nigeria, whatever. But I know it's gonna be hard, but it's what I can still do. I can take it.
It's a shame that we say this all the time, but black people sometimes can be their own worst enemy. Yeah. And for people to say that they're Christians and then treat their own children, their sons and their daughters, these terrible ways, and then try to say, well, you're this way or you're this way. It's like, you know what? When everybody goes home and closes their door, we all have secrets. that sometimes might not go along with what's happening in the Bible. It's a shame that they use Christianity to really separate us and to abuse us and do bad things to good people. A lot of these people are good people and they just need a chance. I mean, and not just, I don't want to say people, it's just we're the human race and we're just, we deserve the same rights and equality as anyone else. And the people in Nigeria need to understand that. And the fact that you and Katanya might not be able to go to Nigeria and be free the way you want to be, if just in case. I mean, Katanya is a very attractive woman, so the men of Nigeria are going to really take an interest in her when they see her, and then you're going to have this conversation, and just in case if she spilled the tea, and you know the black women of Nigeria were looking at this attractive woman, that you know. This is something you guys are gonna have to have a conversation about, because in the long run, she's gonna want to visit your homeland, I would think. Now, Katanya, how's Calvin adjusting to life in Canada so far?
Oh, well, he's adjusting quite okay. Well, I believe when we met, he had issues or what the case would be adjusting, but I think he just needed stability, that's all. His head was just going around in a bubble, in a circle all over the place, but now he's in a better place. He's more focused, he's more goal oriented. So,
what kind of wedding did the two of you want?
Me, I don't want a Zoom wedding.
No Zoom wedding. No Zoom wedding. Those are the words.
He said after Corona, no Zoom wedding. I don't want no Zoom wedding because I'm not going to get adorned and look all nice and sweet and then
I'm done on camera phone.
I'm done on camera phone. No.
Well, you know, I want to say I wish the two of you the best of luck, and hopefully your story of love and the fact that you're trying to make this work, and the fact that you met on a dating site. They met on a dating site. Goes to show you that love can happen. Now, we're going to come back. We're going to come back in the next segment, and we're going to try to see where they are in the marriage. We're going to try to see where they are in the marriage, and if it's already taken place. Now, I want to just say thank you guys so much for being on the show. Excuse the fire alarm. I don't know.
The chef is burning down the kitchen.
Yeah, I don't know if Facebook will play this on the Creator Studio with the fire alarm going. We don't know if the rhythm picks up. We'll have to refilm this, but if not, thank you guys so much for tuning into the Stephanie Stevens Show, and thank Kelvin and Katanya for being on the show today and giving us a little enlightenment into their world. And hopefully we're going to have a second conversation without the fire alarm, and we're going to come back once they're married and see. We want to meet the family. I hope they invite us to the wedding, and we can maybe, film a little segment of the wedding, maybe behind the scene, and see exactly what the tea is. So thank you guys so much for joining us here on the Stephanie Stevens Show. Until next time, have a great week, everybody.
Bye.
And if you have any interesting stories and ideas for a fabulous show, please inbox me. Thank you, Katanya and Calvin.